Okay, for the Excel main merge part, I have already the Excel part I have already created the sample spreadsheet that was given. There is no source file for this. I have saved the file as the event underscore model and a dummy center number and candidate number. So we have to use the current sitting cost. We have to calculate the cost of event depending on the speakers, lighting, and everything. The first part is the entry of the number of people. So the number of people need to be restricted in cell B1 to be from 1 to 100, and the restriction can be done using from the data and data validation. In the data validation you can have the allow any number between 1 and 100. So whenever you enter one, minimum 1 and maximum should be 100, it will be inclusive. And ignore blank, do not ignore the blanks, there should not be any ignoring blank. The input message is whenever you select the cell or whenever the cell is active, then what should be displayed for the user, and it should be a proper message so that the whoever is entering the data, then it should he or she should have the option, please enter, for example, a number between 1 and 100, number of people attending the title. So it should be a proper appropriate message. There should be an error alert and it should not accept any other value. So the style should be stop, like there should not be any warning or the simple error, because with the warning you can still use the wrong value. It should be stop and the error alert should again properly displayed. You can see this is the active cell and it will display number of people attending and the input message. So now we'll be testing different values. 0, 1. So 1 is the extreme value, the lower extreme, the highest extreme, and 101 should not be also accepted. Anything in between is accepted. Now let's go to the next task. The next task is the entry of all. It says all the method of selections should be the validated lists. So we have to insert list and there should be a drop down menu for each kind of selection. The first one is the speaker settings. It should be either 4 speakers or the 6 speakers. Speaker system. So again we will use the data validation. The data validation you can select instead of allow a list. In the list you enter all the values that should be allowed, and you have to take care of the spelling also, and use a drop down of course and ignore the blanks. It should not be blank. The source is 4 speakers or the 6 speakers. Make sure that is the capital letters, the smaller lowercase letters, all are exactly as mentioned in the paper. Do not take any risk with the lower and capital letters as well. So now we have only 2 options in the list, in the combo box, 4 speaker or the 6 speakers. And if we do anything else, then it should be an error. And again, as the proper error message should be, input message should be, you can leave the input message of course already, it would be known, or the error alert should be, please select any provided values or the provided from the list values. You press OK. It's better to always have a stop and error message, even if it is not mentioned, that it will give you good. So now the second part is the speaker cost. Now this is kind of a complex formula because we need to see 2 values. We need to see the number of people attending and we need to see what kind of speakers are there. So first we'll be opening the file. You can just see the file, that what is in the data model or whatever. There is a list up to 54 speakers, different lighting and different seating plan. you can see that it is white, right, sorry, 4 speakers or 6 speakers, and you can see 4 speakers up to 50. We need to see up to 50 and up to 100. So like from 51 to 100 should be different values for 6 speakers, and from, so there are two types of return values. If we're going to use the VLOOKUP, we need to also see the number of people as a if. We have two options for number of people attending, 50 up to 50. So like 0 to 50, sorry, 1 to 50. The 4 speaker option should give the cost as 150, then 6 speaker should be 225, and from 51 to 100 should be 4 speaker is 175. So we need both to see both the values, number of people attending and the 6 speaker. So speaker cost, so this will be the lookup value and this will be our conditional value. Okay, so this value will be using as the VLOOKUP. This is the lookup value that you will need, because we need to see for 6 speakers we need to get the value as 225. Like right now our model says 100, so the 100, this 100 people, number of people attending speaker system 6, then the cost should be 250. So we will use two formulas, a nested formula. First formula would be the if number of people attending is less than equal to 50 or less than 51, you can use. Then now here we will need to see this, we will add a lookup formula, VLOOKUP. The lookup value is the B3, the speaker system. Again, you have to be careful with the spellings, because if that is wrong then your answer won't be correct. Comma, table array. Table array is, now let's see what do we have to use. We need this and this. Yes, for this table array, okay, let's use all of it. Then increment higher cost and this and this. Column index number, which column has our return value. Now it is dependent on the if condition. If B1 is less than equal to 50, then our return column would be the B, the second column. So I will write 2 here, and so we need the exact match here, right? So that is the false. Or now comes the, okay, now sorry, here our VLOOKUP is done, comma. Now comes the value if false, meaning if number of people attending is from 51 to 100, which is our value right now, what should be the formula? So we will use this again, VLOOKUP, value, table array. You can okay, we can use a name range, I think. Let's define the name range later on, comma. Column index number would be now 3. In the C column we have from 51 to 100, so 3, and then again we have the exact match. Bracket close, so if condition is done. And let's see, we have a typo here. Okay, whatever it is, you can just simply, because this is an automatic correction. Okay, so this is our, now let's change it to 50 and it changed to 225. 6 speakers, and let's change this one, 4 speakers 150. This is 65, 175. Now let's we can have a named range, formulas, define name. We can have system or whatever settings. Okay, so this is our, instead of, because the formula is very long and when we're printing, so it becomes very confusing for the examiner as well. This is also correct, but of course it would be better if it is smaller, so you can use this instead of this. The range can be okay. Now, sorry, the name range cannot be used because it's in the other workbook. As you can see, yes, we cannot use it here. Okay. The same things we'll go for. So method of selection for the lighting system must only contain options to select white lighting or the colored lighting. So you can see it here, white lighting, colored lighting. Again, go to data validation, settings, allow a list, and in the source I think we can leave it white lighting. We have white lighting or colored. I don't want to take any chances with the capital or the smaller. Okay. White lighting or the colored lighting. Lighting cost is, which is dependent on the number of people, and it is the same methodology is going to be used, equal to, if, okay, let's just copy paste this here. I'm going to copy paste it here, and the speaker cost, if before, so this is number of people, and B6 white lighting. Yes, if lookup value will be different. Well, lookup value, as we have the whole range from A3 to C11, from A3 to C11, and it should give us either 175 or 225 or 235 for the, right now we have white lighting and 65, so it should be 225. Okay, and the same return values are there. You just need to, if you're copy pasting the formula, you need to make sure that you change the cell references. Press enter, and value tool forms. Write the formula ourselves again. Make sure that there are no spaces with it. Equal to, if B1 is less than equal to 50, then we look up. Lookup value is white lighting B6, and the table array is the other sheet, comma, press comma here. Then the return column would be 2, and the lookup range is the exact match false, bracket close, and comma, again we lookup value is white lighting, table array is 4 speakers to A3 to C11, comma, return column is 3, and bracket close, and we have the 225, which is correct. Let's see, for the colored lighting it should give us 265. Yes, and if we change the number, both the numbers will be changing. Seating is plastic or cushioned. Data is here. List plastic, comma, cushioned. Enter formula B10 to automatically calculate the cost of seating, or the cost in number of people attending and the type of seating. So we have multiple if statements here. More than 75 people cost 75 pounds for plastic, or 105 for cushioned 50. So that is our first if, and then we have two ifs inside. Second if. Okay, let's start it. Okay, I'll open Notepad. If people are in B1, okay, B1 is greater than 75. So I'm going to just write it like this: 75 plastic and 105. It's better to make it, of course, I cannot write it by hand. It's better to make a list of all the conditions by hand on the paper. Make it very easier. If B1 50 to 70, okay, so 50 to 70, greater than 50, we will make this something, and so 50 for plastic and 85 for. In this we can also make a list and use a VLOOKUP. Right now it's better to have if else. If B1 is less than 50, so it is like less than 50. So we have 55 and 55. Start with the largest option. If B1 is less than 50, then again another if to check the value of B9. If B9 is equal to plastic. Then the plastic should be 75 or 105. It's okay, you can only check one value, you don't need to check because only two values are possible. So this is the true option for B1 less than 50, 25 and 55, comma, the false part. In the false part, of course, it will be greater than from 50 to 100. So from 50 to 75 is this. We need to only check the upper range for this because already if it is has checked that till 50, this will be true, so no other option will be read. If this is the false part, if B1 is less than equal to 75, then what should happen? If B9 equal to plastic, then the value should be 50. Else, if it is, of course, the other option would be cushion, so it's 85. Now, for the else or the false part of this if, this is the true part of this if. For the else part of this if, it will be, of course, the third option is it is greater than 75, so greater than 75, and this is the option. So for the false part of the second if, we have B9 is equal to plastic, these options. So 75, 105. Now let's just so I think 3 is, let's check it. If number and number is, for example, 80, then how it will be run? B1 is less than 50, this is not true, so this won't be run. So this is the true part, so this is the false part, so the false part will be run. Then it will again encounter another if. In this if, there will be B is less than or equal to 75, no, so true part won't be run. Now it will come to the false part of the second if. This is the false part. Then if we are here, number is 80, B9 is plastic, right now it is plastic, so it should give us 75 or 105 for the cushion. Now let's see if it is 10. If B1 is less than 50, then this will be true and then value will be written here, so it won't go into the false part at all. You can see at a time only one if will be true. At 50, if B1 less than 50, it's not less than 50, so this is the true part, not run. This is the false part. B is less than equal to 75, true. The true part of this if is if B9, so then it will check if B9 is plastic. Yes, it is plastic, it will return 50. Hopefully it should work, and let's just copy paste it here. And we have 50 and plastic. Now you should always check your formulas using test values. check with 50, sorry 45, and it is 35, and you can check with the cushion as well. 55. The cushion we have 80. For 80 we have this option 105 for cushion, and for of course the costs should be, all these should be formatted as euro. We will do it later on. Then the security is, of course, security is 250, and the total cost of the event is adding all the values plus lighting cost plus and plus. These four cells should be home currency, and the currency would be euro. Select the following values. Number attending is 50. Number attending 50. 4 speakers. Colored lighting and seating is plastic. So this is how you should be saving your spreadsheet.